In today's video, I'm going to share with you an extremely simple, reliable, and mechanical trading strategy. And it's called the previous day's high and low. And this strategy is designed to take advantage of the first 90 minutes of market open. And after trading and backtesting this strategy for years, I can confidently say that this has changed the way I trade while also getting rid of the guesswork when it comes to my trading. This strategy helps me understand the timing, location, and direction when I'm looking to take a trade. So I'll show you the full strategy along with live examples that I took in real time. Let's get into it. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over one of my favorite setups and strategies, which is the previous day high and low. And not only am I going to be showing you the strategy, I'm going to show you live examples that I took in real time, along with 3 different scenarios on how we can execute the strategy properly. I know a lot of you guys know about the continuation setup, which we talk about on this channel on a consistent basis, but I'm also going to talk about a reversal setup along with a reclaim setup that we can incorporate and use in our strategy and system. And as you can see right here, these are my trading statistics for the month of February so far. As you can see, I'm currently up $89,000. Week number 1, $55,000. Week number 2 and week number 3 so far, I'm up $21,000. This has been an absolutely fantastic month so far in the markets. I do want to mention here that these results are not typical. I have been trading for close to 7 years now, and I lost years in the markets in order to achieve results like this. So with that being said, now let's go on to exactly what the strategy is and how we can use it in our trading. So the strategy that we're going to be talking about today is based off of one single candle which forms on the daily chart. So as you can see right here, we have one candle, and what we're going to be focusing on here is the high and the low of the daily candle, which is very important. We don't want to be on the 1 minute time frame. We don't want to be on the 5 minute time frame. We want to specifically focus on the daily candle high and low. The reason being is because there's the most liquidity resting above and below those areas. And these are very reliable levels that we can use and we can plot out before the market opens. So these are levels we can plot out in the after hours. We can plot them out in the pre-market. Once the daily candle forms, these are the levels that we can be using. I'm going to be talking about other levels that we can use as well, but specifically the high and low is what's key. Since these are key liquidity areas, we're going to be looking for trading opportunities around these areas in the following session. So coming into the next day, once we have the high and we have the low marked out, you can mark out an area, you can mark out a level in price. I'm going to be showing you what I like to do personally, which is draw out areas. But basically coming into the next day, we're going to be looking for the reaction that we have off our previous day highs and our previous day lows. So if we want to see upside, let's say for example, price opens up in the middle of the range, we're going to be looking for longs above your previous day highs, or we're going to be looking for the potential bounce play off our previous day lows for this continuation back towards the upside. So as you can see, we would have 2 scenarios for upside in this case. If we want to see a potential reversal setup or downside, we can look for the pop and fade off our previous day highs for a push lower, or now we like to see this continue push underneath our previous day lows for this continuation lower. So as you can see, we would have 2 scenarios for upside, we have 2 scenarios for downside. There are plenty of different trading opportunities that we can be looking for on a day-to-day basis, and that's why the strategy is so powerful, is because we don't need to come into the markets with a bias. We can mark out these key levels and then wait for the reaction off our key levels, and based off the reaction, then we can look for trading opportunities. So with that being said, let's hop right into the charts to show you guys exactly how to draw these key levels and how to form trades off of these key levels. So as you can see here, we're currently on TradingView. What we want to do is head on to the top left hand side and we want to select our time frames. If you click this drop down menu, there's a bunch of different time frames that we can choose. You can see we have the 1, 5, 15-minute time frame, we have the 1 hour chart. What we want to do is click on the daily chart. That is the chart that we're going to be focusing on, and that is the chart that we're going to first start off from. So what we want to do is focus in on the high and low of the daily candles. So these are the levels that we can have marked out. And once we have these levels marked out, which is the high and low on the daily time frame, we can now go on to the lower time frames. Now that we're on the lower time frames, my personal preference is I like going on to the 15-minute along with the 1 hour to refine my levels. So currently we're on the 15-minute time frame. And what we're going to do in this case is we're going to draw out areas and price. As I mentioned, you can just draw out strict levels, but I personally like drawing out areas because I like giving it a little bit of wiggle room. So as you can see right here, we have the high and low of its previous day. So what I want to do here is mark it out from the wick, and you can drag it down to the body. As you can see, we have multiple touches. Multiple touches, the better. It doesn't have to be too precise, but as you can see, we have our wick drawn out. You can see multiple touches here. You can see another touch in the pre-market, another touch right here, a couple other touches in its previous day. So this is a very key level here on the charts. And I just call this level your previous day high and previous day low key areas. And you can see how well price is currently respecting these levels. If we're looking to draw levels on the downside, what we can do is mark out our previous day lows, and we can drag it up into the body. So this can be our level towards the downside. So as I fast forward the tape here, coming into market open here in its current day, what we like to see now is the reaction that we have off our previous day highs along with our previous day lows. So these are going to be the key areas that we're going to be focusing on. As I mentioned earlier, we have a couple scenarios that we can be looking for. If we do want to see upside, we like to see the break above our previous day highs, hold above this level for continuation higher. Another possible scenario is going to be the bounce play off our previous day lows for this reversal back towards the upside. If we want to look short in the markets, pop and fade, rejection off our previous day highs for this continuation lower, or now we could be looking for the break underneath our previous day lows for this continuation lower here towards the downside. So these are the scenarios that we can use based off of the pre-market along with the after hours. We're not basing it off of intraday price action because we don't have that information. We're just going to base it off of our key highs and lows, which are key liquidity levels in the markets. So as you can see right here, price ended up opening up at the high of the range. We end up rejecting off our previous day highs nicely, and we end up having this nice reversal towards the downside. So as you can see here, if we go on to the lower time frames, you can see perfect rejections right off our previous day highs. Sellers stepped in, and we end up having this reversal set up towards the downside. So as you can see right here, as I mentioned, we have plenty of different scenarios that we can be looking for. You can be looking for the continuation. You can be looking for the reversal. We have another setup which we'll talk about, which is the reclaim setup. But as you can see, these levels provide plenty of different trading opportunities. If you wanted to look short, you could have been looking for a short, risking above your previous day highs and looking for a reversal all the way back down in towards our previous day lows. You can see the risk reward here would have been very nice. You're risking a very minimal amount and looking for a potential 3 to 4 hour setup. Of course, the reversal setup doesn't occur every single day, but that's why I'm going to be showing you a reversal, continuation, and a reclaim setup. So with that being said, we understand the basics of how this strategy works. Now let's go on to some examples to show you guys exactly what this will look like in real time. So as you can see right here, we're currently on the 15-minute time frame, and the first level that we want to mark out is our previous day highs. And as you can see, we can drag this down in towards our high that we also created here on Wednesday. So as you can see, there's a touch here. There's also another touch here as well. So this can be a key level that we can look for potential trading opportunities around. The next level that we have marked out is going to be our previous day lows, and we can drag this up in towards, of course, our body, and we can also potentially drag this all the way down in towards our pre-market lows if we like as well. So as you can see right here, we can just draw this as a full area and price, and this is the exact level we can be looking for the reaction off. So as you can see right here, for Nvidia coming into market open, if we do want to see any sort of continuation towards the downside, break underneath previous day lows for this continuation lower. If we want to look for a reversal setup, we like to see the potential bounce play here off our previous day lows along with this pre-market low for this potential reversal back towards the upside. So really coming to market open, since we're closer to the bottom of the range, we're either going to be looking for your previous day low continuation, or we're going to be looking for your previous day low reversal setup. Now let's play the tape coming into market open. So currently within the first few minutes of market open, you can see big drop towards the downside. We're underneath our previous day lows currently. We also have our higher time frame key level here as well. So now what we'd like to see here on the lower time frames is the rejection here off our previous day lows. And we could be looking for a continuation towards the downside. As you can see, we have a nice rejection candle here. This is where you can go look in short. As you can see right here on Nvidia, we basically get that confirmation that price does want to indeed head towards the downside. You have your nice previous day low rejection. As I mentioned, you can get in on this candle close. I personally ended up getting in on this candle formation right here as well. Once we rejected once again here off our previous day lows along with our pre-market lows, we can go look in short with a stop just to break above, and we could be looking for continuation towards the downside. In this case, you can just be using a fixed risk to reward ratio, but in real time, I was looking for higher time frame objectives. So in order to go to higher time frame objectives, you have to go back on to the daily chart, and you can mark out these key highs and lows on the daily time frame and use these levels as potential targets. So if we go back onto the lower time frames, you can see these are some of the key areas that we have marked out and that we can use as potential targets and take profit levels, which is in this case our 184. We have some other levels that are below as well. And so now let's play out the tape. So with this being said, as you can see, we end up having a super solid push towards the downside. This was a great example of using the previous day low continuation setup. Now with this being said, let's go into the live session to show you guys exactly how I executed this setup in real time. Similar thing here as Nvidia, key level that we have marked out previous day lows. If we can get underneath, we can see some continuation towards the downside. If we bounce, then we could be looking for some sort of mean reversion. I don't really want to trade the mean reversion. So as you can see right there on Nvidia, I just talked about looking for a potential continuation towards the downside underneath our key levels. As I mentioned, I don't really want to trade the mean reversion today just because the overall higher time frame is bearish on the QQQ. The names that are the weakest, if the Qs does want to reject and get underneath our previous day lows, we'll keep an eye out on Nvidia, but we like to see the Qs underneath our previous day lows here. Let's keep an eye on Nvidia here. This one, a little bit of reaction here off our previous day lows. If we can get a weak price action here, I'm interested in Nvidia. Nvidia, what I'm looking at here is the 185 puts. So as you can see right here, I just mentioned Nvidia is one of the weaker tickers compared to the overall markets. You can see we have a little bit of reaction here off that previous day lows. If you can see some weaker price action, I'm interested in the 185 puts on Nvidia. Or keep an eye on Nvidia here. Okay, Nvidia, I'm going to try some of the 185 puts here on Nvidia. The 185 puts on Nvidia with the QQQ. This one is rejecting here off our previous day lows. If the Qs does want to break underneath, it's staying heavy. Nvidia and Apple, I do expect to lead towards the downside. I took some of the 185 puts here on Nvidia. So as you can see right there, I ended up taking the 185 puts as price rejected off the key level. I was expecting Qs underneath previous day lows. Nvidia, I just want to see the rejection now off of our 186 for this continued push towards the downside. So as you can see right there, Q's nice rejection so far off our previous day lows. Nvidia's super solid rejection off our previous day lows down in towards our first major take profit, which is that 184. And yeah, as you can see right there, I sped up the tape, but Nvidia super solid drop towards the downside. Q's nice drop towards the downside here as well. As you can see, this was a great example of using that previous day low rejection, end up perfectly rejecting off that previous day low for that continued push towards the downside. So with that being said, now let's go on to the next example that I have for us today. So as you can see, we're currently on our next example, which is on Tesla. We're currently back on the daily time frame. And as I mentioned, what we first want to do here is mark out the high and low on the daily chart. Once we do that, we can now go on to the lower time frames. So now that I'm on the lower time frames, the levels that we can have marked out to the upside, as you can see right here, we can mark this out from the high and drag it down to the body. As for this level, we can mark it out from the wick all the way up and towards this body. So coming into market open here, as you can see, we're currently underneath our previous day lows. So coming into market open here for Tesla, if you want to see continuation, we like to see this pop and fade for this rejection off our previous day lows for continuation lower. The only long scenario here is going to be this reclaim setup for this reversal back towards the upside. So as I mentioned, there's really two scenarios here. Both are off our previous day lows. We're looking for your previous day low continuation, or we're looking for your previous day low reclaim back above for a reversal trade. Now let's go on to the lower time frames to see the exact reaction that we have off these key levels. So coming into market open, let's play out the tape. So as you can see right here currently on Tesla, we have the first 25 to 30 minutes played out. You can see overall markets pushed down right off the bat, and now we're gravitating back towards the upside. Where are we gravitating towards? We're gravitating in towards a key level of resistance, which happens to be your previous day lows. As you can see on the 1 minute time frame, we're now getting some sellers to step in here off our previous day lows. The key thing here is the 5 minute chart. So if you have the 1 minute chart and the 5 minute chart pulled up, you can see we actually ended up pushing up right into a key level of resistance, which happens to be our previous day lows, as I mentioned. So one of the scenarios I talked about was your previous day low rejection for a push right back towards the downside. So this is one of the theses that we can be looking for here on Tesla. As you can see right here, we have multiple rejections right off this key level. As soon as Tesla breaks back underneath this key low, this is where I personally went in short with a stop just to break above our previous day highs. And in this case, I was looking for low of day plus continuation towards the downside. So this was a previous day low reversal setup, looking for low of day plus continuation towards the downside. In this case, as I mentioned, we're trading in line with the higher time frames. So that's why we can be looking for this reversal trade. Now let's play out the tape. And as you can see right there on Tesla, we end up having this really solid push towards the downside. 5 minute time frame rejected, 1 minute time frame broke underneath key levels. And this was a great example of a reversal setup using these previous day highs and lows key levels. This was a super solid rejection. This is the exact same level that we use on a consistent basis. In this case, we're looking for continuation on the higher time frames, but it was an intraday reversal setup. Now let's go on to the live session to show you guys exactly what I was looking at in real time.
Within the first kind of 10 to 15 minutes here, market open. My top watch is going to be Tesla. Tesla previous day low retest offer 400 for a push towards the downside. Nvidia, this one here as well.
So as you can see, coming into market open, as I mentioned, one of my top watches is Tesla underneath previous day lows for this pop and fade for this continuation towards the downside.
Pretty strong reclaim here on the markets. Tesla's finally back at our previous day lows here as well. So let's see if a potential kind of 5 minute setup forms here on Tesla. You like to see the rejection here off our previous day lows. This was our original thesis to start off the day. The previous day low retest here on Tesla.
So as you can see, Tesla's back at our previous day lows. We're going to be looking for sellers to step in here off our previous day lows for this rejection back towards the downside.
In this Tesla previous day low short, Qs right now is above your previous day low, so we don't have to be that aggressive on this Tesla short. It's just low risk right now. We're waiting for the Qs to either fill our gap or get back underneath the 601. Yeah, Tesla's low risk. The higher time frame looks good. If the Qs can show a little bit more weakness, or if Tesla can now break underneath this 398, we can be looking for Tesla low risk, risking off our previous day highs. Tesla, I'm actually going to try some of the 395s here. This one's just based off the higher time frames, but previous day low rejection here on Tesla. Risk is going to be a break above this previous day lows. I think this is good risk to reward here. Reject off our previous day lows. Potentially you can see low of day and continuation. If you do want to reject off this level, it is the lowest risk possible here on Tesla.
So as you can see right there on Tesla, as I mentioned, I took the 395 puts, lowest risk possible off our previous day lows, looking for that full reversal trade back down in towards low of day plus continuation as well.
I want to see this weakness though. If the Qs can maintain underneath the 600, we should get this push down towards low of day. And then Tesla can get one big candle, we can get low of day and below. SPY should get previous day low. Every name should hit previous day low. Sorry, lows here. SPY should hit low of day. Q should hit low of day. Tesla should get this big flush here with the Qs. Yeah, Qs and SPY like to see this big flush into low of day here. Tesla, similar thing. Underneath low of day, we have lots of room towards the downside.
So as you can see right there, Tesla leading the way towards the downside. Q's nice rejection here as well, flipping back underneath. SPY flipping back underneath. Tesla, super solid trade. Very minimal drawdown ever since we got in. Basically straight push towards the downside. Now we end up taking some off. We want to see some more continuation lower here as well. So yeah, as you can see right there, Qs finally hit our low of day. Similar thing here with SPY as well. Tesla, beautiful flush towards the downside. This is a great example of using intraday reversal with a higher time frame continuation. With that being said, let's go on to the next example that we have for us today. So now as you can see, we're on our last example and we're on Tesla once again. And currently we're on the daily time frame. And what we're going to do here is mark out our daily high along with our daily low. Once we mark out the high and low of this candle, now we can go on to the lower time frames. As you can see here, we're currently on the 15-minute chart. And what we're going to do here is mark out the high and we're going to drag this down in towards our candle close, and towards the downside, the levels that we can have marked out is this wick. You can drag this all the way up in towards our body candle. You can also mark out this level here if you like as well, which happens to be your pre-market low. In this day in specific, I personally had your previous day lows along with your pre-market lows marked out. Now let's go on to the lower time frame to show you guys the reaction that we have off these key levels. So as you can see right off the bat here on Tesla, we're having this really solid push towards the downside underneath now our previous day lows. So what we like to see here is now the rejection off our previous day lows for this continuation towards the downside. But as you can see right here on Tesla, we end up pushing up and towards our previous day lows along with our pre-market lows, but ultimately there was no reaction that we have off this key level. We had a little bit of seller step in, but instantly bought right back towards the upside. So here on Tesla, now what we like to see is we still actually have two options. We like to see the bounce play here off our 410 for a potential reversal back up and towards high of day, or we like to see the reclaim back underneath for this rejection for this continued push back towards the downside. Now let's keep playing out the tape. As you can see right here for Tesla, we end up getting this really sharp push right back towards the downside. This is exactly where we can go look in short, or we can be waiting for the retest off our 410 for this flip back towards the downside. And as you can see right here for Tesla, you can see once we broke back underneath, super solid rejection right off our previous day lows along with our pre-market lows. This is exactly where we can go look in short with a stop loss just to break above. Now we can be looking for a continuation towards the downside. Now let's play out the tape. And as you can see right there on Tesla, we end up having a super solid push towards the downside. Once we reclaim back underneath this level, perfect rejections right off that 410 for this nice push down and towards our take profit. And as you can see, this was a great example of the reclaim setup. So I went over the continuation, I went over the reversal. Now I just went over the reclaim setup. So let's go on to the live session to show you guys exactly what this reclaim setup looks in real time and what my overall thought process was.
As for some of the main watches coming today, let's keep an eye on Tesla. This 414, basically the low that we created here on Thursday for continuation lower. Previous day lows is the key level here as well.
So as you can see right there on Tesla, the levels that I have marked out is our previous day lows. We also have your 414 here as well. I'm just looking for the pop and fade or a continuation lower underneath that previous day low.
Yeah, we're finding a little bit of aggressive buyers here right off the bat. Let's keep an eye on your 600. As I mentioned, if Qs gets above 600, then I'm going to be a little bit more neutral. As long as you can maintain underneath 600, then I'm going to still have that bear stance. So far, the only ticker that's still staying heavy here is Tesla.
So as you can see right here, so far within the first few minutes, Qs is pushing towards the upside. Tesla's the only ticker that's staying weak. So I'm looking for the previous day low retest here on Tesla for this continuation towards the downside. So as you can see right there, Qs really solid push up within the first few minutes to fill its gap. Tesla, no sellers off our previous day lows. So if there's no sellers, then there's no trade. And we're going to be waiting for the reclaim back underneath if we do want to take Tesla whatsoever.
Yeah, Tesla, keep an eye on the Qs here. Tesla, keep an eye on the 405 puts on Tesla, the 405 puts.
As you can see right here, Qs is pushing back towards the downside. Tesla's actually breaking back underneath our 410. I mentioned to keep an eye out on the 405 puts. We can be looking for the reclaim entry, or now we'll be waiting for the retest for this continued push down in towards 405 and below.
Now I'm just going to remain my focus back in here on Tesla. Yeah, I'm going to try some of the Tesla 405s here. This one with the Qs kind of rejecting off the 600. Tesla, nice rejection so far here off our previous day lows. What I'll be looking for here is now low of day below.
So as you can see right there, Qs broke back underneath the 600. I want to see the tape remain bearish now. As for Tesla, nice solid rejection here off that 410. Now I'd just like to see this continue push towards the downside. So as you can see right there, super solid push down on the Q, super solid push down on SPY. Tesla, beautiful rejection right off that previous day low along with our pre-market low on that reclaim. And now you can see this one's continuing nicely towards the downside as well. And as I speed up the tape, you can see Tesla push all the way down in towards our major objectives, which is our 402. So that was an absolutely fantastic trade on Tesla towards the downside. And with that being said, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I talked about the previous day high and the previous day low retest, along with, of course, 3 different scenarios being the continuation, reversal, along with the reclaim setup. So hopefully you guys did find some value out of this video. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. Peace.